Now it's okay.
Now it's okay. Okay. So again, thank you for having this webinar with us today. I would like to say some words about marketing activities and the company itself. What is KSTAR and how long already the company operates? Because I think this is one of the most important issues which are related to KSTAR, that this company already operates successfully 30 years. And starting from 1993, I think one of the very important actions taken are joining the Shenzhen Stock Exchange list 2010. And all these names you see here, like Park into Operation, National Enterprise Technology Center, honored as National Technology Innovation Demonstration Enterprise, all this meaningful dates are really useful and really meaningful if we talk about technology and development and R&D. And this is the strength of KSTAR, to be focused on technology, to have a lot of engineers, not just us here in Europe, like David and the team, but also a lot of guys and also women who develop the products inside China. Um, Another important date, I will say, is establishing a joint venture and building the factory in 2019 with CTAL. But I will say a word later about it. Also, after 30 years of history, the company learned the lesson that being a global company and being catchy and important and meaningful for us all over the globe, for us in Europe, means to have a change, means to have a fresh spirit, and that's why also the KSTAR changed the basics of the marketing. So there is a vision and slogan and mission of the company, which is meet the needs of diverse industries through innovation and break barriers to uncover new possibilities. So that's why we listen always to the clients, and this is what already I can say, working here for KSTAR since 1.5 years, that we listen to the clients, and we also the technical team is listening what kind of amendments, what kind of changes we can make, and really they listen and they do upgrades. 30 years operation all over the world, which means more than 180 regions and countries, with some local team, with some overseas activity, and some established offices like the one we have in Poland, in Hungary, and also the operation like we start with you in Slovenia and other Balkan countries. Of course, energy storage systems, inverters, and also the data solution and the UPS. This is the basic and very strong history of KSTAR, because since actually now is number four supplier if we talk about UPSs globally, and since more than 20 years without break, KSTAR has a top one in China, in the Chinese market, if we talk about UPS sales ranking and production ranking. This slide is especially meaningful for me because the years we remember in Europe as a COVID, as a financial breakdown, as a crisis, or of course also the beginning of the instability and war in Ukraine. This, from global perspective, still for KSTAR means growing, and this is how we see the shares of the market. If we talk globally again about KSTAR, me and David, we are part of the team of more than 4,200 people all over the globe. And only the technology engineers, that these teams are more than 600 people, excluding technical engineers overseas, like David. I'm talking about the one who works in the factories and in the development centers in China. Also, the numbers of patents which KSTAR has is really big, and also the business globally is growing, and our part as a global overseas operation already is stronger than the domestic one if we talk about the renewable energy sources, and already we are like 55% and growing. This is the factory I just briefly mentioned before, joint venture, all cash, without any loans, without any bank loans, credits whatsoever. All real money invested by KSTAR, 138 million US dollars investment, which is 80% of the investment, because as a hard investment, and the soft investment in the technology and the technology and the R&D given by the CTAL, and this is the result, the factory which produce inside KSTAR our own CTAL, but still the same very high efficient CTAL batteries, the same which you have in the BMW or Tesla cars, for example. If we talk about the factories and the R&D centers, this is how it looks like. There is also one factory in Vietnam. As you saw on the history map, it was one of the last investments. This is an idea of having a production outside China, according to some political changes and decisions, not to break down the delivery chain globally. So this is how the map looks like. The points you see there we have like a strong operation and offices. Of course, the sales is running in many more places, and still we see how it looks globally. One of the first outside China, when the company was very strong already inside the home country, was, for example, the Australian market. So it was never first step for this Chinese huge producer to go to us, to Europe. No, they expanded in other markets before. Being global, having a global impact and huge sale means also having a certificates starting from the ISO 9001, but also others. This is just a brief of the certifications. So according to each market, the certifications are on the way or already achieved. Actually, already dozens of them, according to the needs of the different continents and countries. Being global means also having a responsible, have the responsible actions. So for the last year, also for this year, we will have the audit made from the ESG perspective, which is a solid ESG report made by the international company Ernst & Young. So this is not just somebody small doing some small documents and nothing else. So and that's why already we got another certificates for the achievement, how the company, which is mainly operating automatically, but also David will say about it some words, how it's efficient and not just cost effective, but also we are able to reduce the carbon footprint. And also for many companies and end users, and also for the governmental approach is very important to have for many governments and companies the green development chain and delivery chain and that's also this is also the strength of KSTAR. Here is one of the I will show you some just briefly pictures showing that mainly what we have in these factories is going automatically, and all the testing systems are also inside the factories. So there is no need to send to some other locations, postpone testing, not clear action, not clear environment, or here, for example, the lead acid battery manufacturing. You see how this fully automatic production goes from actually first screw to also packing and testing at the end. Again, laser welding and again testing, packing, and aging of the cells. Yeah, more about cells. Of course, we will send this presentation later, so you will use it, or you have it already from Elena. If you can say something about the an advanced energy storage production, David, please.
So regarding the advanced technology energy storage products, it is automatic, and everything is measured during the factory. There are double checks by computers and so on. So it's highly effective and modern technology for the industry.
This is one of the pictures which are ahead of us, because actually these EV chargers are produced for the Chinese market, many of them, thousands of them. And here also one of the production lines showing that not just cells are produced automatically and automatically tested, but also all other products as well. About the marketing, I just want to say shortly a few words that since we are in operation since 1.5 years, we already have our European website with the kstar.eu. I think there you can find the information related to our market in some languages, not just one. I'm sorry, not yet in Slovenian, but still you can have some data. And also social media, please follow our LinkedIn, KSTAR New Energy, and YouTube profile. There we publish our latest informations, and also videos, and also training videos, technical videos. So a lot of useful stuff for the engineers and the installers. If we talk about a different market, of course, we publish showing what we install, where we go, how we act, and this is just a brief example. Also, if we talk about actions taken last year, we opened the office in Poland, in our region, and also we are strongly acting in Hungary. I was publishing pictures from Slovenia in the summer and the late autumn. Also David was in Slovenia. So we have something called KSTAR, so training time with you. But dinner gala, I'm looking forward. I hope one day we can make together for the Slovenian market. We also publish in many languages. There's just the brief of what we do, and also still expanding for another Central Eastern and South East European countries. This is just the example of Hungary. Czech Republic. If we talk about trainings, this is already what you know, that we that this is our strong strength, having online trainings, offline trainings, and webinars as the one we are conducting today. Also, our presence all over Europe, this is just the example, including Intersolar, but other examples are from the Central Eastern Europe. So this is, I think, also very important, and you can find us in all these places. Ahead, what is coming in the 2025, this is January, Warsaw, after Budapest, also in January, February, again Poland, and Slovakia, Nitra, and after we go back to Budapest, to Reneo Konstruma, and the season is on. So this is how it looks, where you will see us and visit us on the expo. Wherever you would like to travel, you are welcome. And also we go to your countries and conduct some speeches. We participate in the conferences from the technical and development perspective. We try to say more about the energy storage systems, and also KSTAR at the first place. We also expand with translations. If we talk about translating into many languages from our part of Europe, so I hope the Slovenian language will be not just for some short conversation, but we will have more documents in this language. So I hope also in 2025 we will have some incentive with Slovenian market. I will be happy to support you if there will be actions like this taken. I hope our trainings, technical trainings, will be very helpful for you, and we can develop further. Okay, maybe I will stop here, and David, you will start your presentation, talking about the products, and also go deeper into the technical part, okay?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Eva, for the word. Welcome, everybody. I'm David from the Hungarian market. And during the presentation, if you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt immediately and ask, or at the end of the webinar, there will be also possibility to discuss the questions.
But please, David, click the full screen first, okay?
Yes. So now you can see, and if you can you see moving the PPT?
No, not yet full. Now, no presentation.
Maybe just one question, because you
Yes, of course.
present the KSTAR company. What is your advantages or benefits if we think about the competition or concurrence on the market?
If I might say, I think the finishing of the products, from my perspective, I work for renewable energy sources since 10 years in Poland. So the finishing of the machines, especially the integrated systems, like the all-in-one solution for residential and all-in-one solution, so the KC 5100 on 197 for C&I, to have these machines like looking good, not so heavy, especially I'm sorry, especially the residential one. It's divided into 3 parts, and I saw already our engineers performing with the installation. It really takes not more than 2 hours. So this is very efficient working with the KSTAR products. So when you install the inverter and the energy storage as a one column divided into 3 partitions is not so bright, it's not so heavy. Looking from the perspective of the woman with the family, with the garden, this is not this kind of installation which will kill my garden and leave like mess around the house, which happened many times at the beginning of the PV installations in Poland, that all the gardens and houses were damaged because somebody was installing something. And also the cabling and everything, it's inside the devices. So from the all set in one point of view, that the installer has hands ready to work and all is inside. I think this is very useful. Also, we have our technical crew inside Central Eastern Europe, so anytime is possible to call and connect on the camera and go step by step when the installer is not sure about something or is missing something during the installation. So the technical support of Central Eastern Europe KSTAR will be there for them, like David, Mariusz, Kamil, Thomas, and we still recruit new engineers for our team. And also from the safety point of view, I think David will say more technical details about it, but there is a double safety inside the C&I solution KAC50 and also anti-floating system.
Yes, I will talk about that, but can you see my screen now, or I should
Yes,
fight
now
more?
is now is great. Now is
Okay,
great.
thank you. Then I would like to start.
Yeah,
and
yeah. But
I think
I'm
I will mention the
David,
things more deeply.
Yeah. Mr. Bozidar, so I can speak more, but maybe let David say some technical details, because there you will see some advantages as well. One last sentence, David, before you start. KSTAR has a long history as an OEM production company. So that means listening to many businesses all over globe, all over Europe, following their needs, following how and what they want to achieve. So this is a history of deeply technically tested products from the if you say about portfolio, always we can say there is a lot of products or not enough products, yeah, but they are produced for many different markets which have very different needs. And I think still the way of protection and finishing of the design of the machine is also crucial. Not just technical aspect, which is important for us from the business perspective, but for the simple end user, as me, Eva, with the family, as I said, it's also important how fast it's gonna be installed and how let's say it looks like around my neighborhood. Yeah. So this soft aspects also I think we can match, and KSTAR is presenting their products very well. Okay, let's come back, David, to the technical aspects, and we will see more advantages of KSTAR in it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the word. So let's jump into it. So firstly, I would like to mention our key product for the C&I industry. This is an energy storage system with a battery pack with two separate clusters inside with two separate SOC value. And there is a split heating, ventilation, air conditioner on the door. And on the right side, there is a PCS, the production control system, which is responsible for the transmission of AC from DC or from DC to AC. And there is a LCD HMI EMS screen, which is responsible for the energy management and also with the communication with the battery management system. So regarding the highlights of the product is that there are inside the lithium iron phosphate batteries cells, which is produced by the CATL factory. And it has a 1+1 redundancy design, as I mentioned, for the double SOC values. It has a safe CAPEX. It can be expanded. It can be put together next to each other. And it takes less place to install. And the whole system is prefabricated in the factory. Only the inverter needs to be applied, and pre-manufactured cables need to be installed. It has also the cloud operation and the cloud control, and it can be also operated by the LCD screen on site. So regarding the components, there is a hybrid inverter on the right side. It has the PV input, two independent MPPTs, and it has battery input for the two battery inputs for the two clusters. It has an AC communication, it has an AC output and the communication terminals. Also, it has a CAN communication and also RS485 communication for the between the batteries and the inverter. So the maximum application is 20 pieces in parallel for the 20 kilowatt rated power inverter. It can be attached to one, it can be expanded up to 1 megawatt in that case. So if you want to put it to off-grid mode, the maximum of the product that can be put to off-grid mode is 250 kilowatt rated power. So regarding the cabinet inside, it has the safety fire suppression system, which has an activation at 180 Celsius degree. And because of the thermal run-up is 80 Celsius degree, it has a time to react, and it has a more safe inside. And this is the formula of the strontium hydroxide, which is a dry component that's been put out from this aerosol, which is on the left bottom corner of the cubicle. And also it has the starter device to react. And the thermal detection line is on the line of the door. And it has a smoke detector on the top, and also the aerosol on the right top corner. As Eva mentioned, there is also a fluid sensor on the bottom. So it is giving a signal and disconnects all the DC outputs and inputs to 0 volt. There is a door status signal at the door also. So during the operation, the door needs to be kept closed. There is an air conditioner on the door. This air conditioner has the consumption of 4 kilowatt for cooling and 3 kilowatt for heating. It has the optimized airflow, so the temperature difference between the battery packs and cells cannot go more up than 5 Celsius degree. So the monitoring is constant for that. It has an internal loop and an external loop for the air moving, and the design makes it allow to make the efficient cooling of the system. Regarding the characteristics of the lithium iron phosphate cells, it is the charge and discharge rate is 0.5 C. So that means that the double of the, so if we have the 50 kilowatt discharge or charge rate of this system, and we have the 100 kilowatt hour storage capacity, and that's mean if we divide it together, we get this 0.5 C. And the degradation comes of the output, the discharge and charge power is degraded when it reaches the 45 Celsius. And for the discharging, it's limiting the current at 40 Celsius. Regarding the data sheet, some important point to mention is that the one module capacity is 5.12 kilowatt hour, and the number of the modules is 210, so it's overall 20. The rated voltage of one cluster is 512 volt, and the maximum depth of discharge is 90%. Regarding the communication protocol, it can be operated through the CAN Modbus or TCP/IP protocols, and it is confirming to the global standards. Regarding the battery cabinets, it has it is the bottom of the battery cabinets, and regarding the controlling, it has the rotate switch for the switching on and off of the battery packs, and it has a DC and the DC output for each cluster. The other connection point is where you can put the cubicles or the cabinets parallel. It has the switch inside each battery pack, and there is an AC auxiliary terminal for the air cooling, and it has a separate protection. It has a little DC start button if you want to start the system without the AC. This is some parameters regarding the inverters on the right side of the cabinet. It has the nominal power of 50 kilowatts, and the maximum input voltage regarding the photovoltaic is 1000 volt. The maximum current per MPPT is 36 amps for each MPPT, and regarding the calculation, the short circuit current per the MPPT is more than that. It's 40. The maximum input voltage of the battery packs clusters are 750 volts, and the DC current inside it's 2 times 55 amps. Its output has the 400 volts 3-phase, and regarding the current, it's like 80 amperes. The maximum efficiency of the inverter is 98.5%, and it is contains all of the necessary and modern protections that a new inverter needs to be applied, like the reverse connection protection, the DC switch inside, the over temperature protection, the grid monitoring, earth fault detection, insulation monitoring, and the embedded DC AC surge protection. The device is IP65, so it's dust-proof, waterproof. Regarding the communication port, it is communicating with the BMS and the EMS with the RS485 protocols and the CAN protocols. This is the bottom of the hybrid inverter. You can see the PV switch, the PV terminals, battery terminal, 2 pieces. It has the communication interface and the 4, and it has also the parallel interface for RS485 interface, which is here. So these 3 is the communication terminals of the inverters. Regarding the DC bus is used for the off-grid solution with the STS, but I will talk about it later. It has the AC connection, and it has the auxiliary separate wire for the auxiliary terminal of the cabinet. Regarding the operating modes, it has 4 operating modes. The first is the time of use, where you can set the discharge and the charge periods of the system according to the electricity price, and make some profit by charging the equipment when the prices are low, and discharge the equipment when the prices are high. Regarding the self-consumption, it has the PV production. When it has the PV production, it's the surplus PV production which is not consumed on the household or at the site. It will go and charge the batteries. So when the batteries are full and there is an extra PV, you can decide to stop the charging and make the zero export with the meter, or just feed out to the grid. So here we can see the daily curve. If the sun is starting to shine, we can store this amount of energy to the system consumption, under the system consumption curve, and store this energy to these gaps. And we have also the peak shaving and the volley filling solution for the operating mode, which is a dynamic control according to the consumption and the demand. So it has the purpose for planning the load curve and processing the order of the network aggregator. So it needs to be cooperated. And also have the backup power for the solution. It has the strategy when the AC power is out, the battery only can discharge when there is no grid. For this solution, also the static transfer switch, the STS device also needed. This is one example for the peak shaving and self-consumption solution of the system. This site is in Poland. When there is an extra PV, the system start gonna feed out, but for this energy, we can charge our batteries in that time. And it has an extra time delay for the discharge of the battery, which is like postpone the consumption of the battery. This curve is for the standard self-consumption. When the PV is gonna be high, and so the PV is gonna be high, the system starts to charge the batteries, and when the batteries are full and the consumption is high, it starts to discharge the battery. So regarding this application, the maximum inverter in parallel is 20 pieces, and it can go up to 1 megawatt charge or discharge power. And regarding the storage capacity, it can go up to 2 megawatt hour or 4 megawatt hour, but for the 4 megawatt hour solution, you have to double only the cabinets. If you want to use one or more system or equipment, you need to use this EMS01D industrial communication box to establish the cloud communication with the cabinets. So if we use the 4 megawatt hour solution, that means one system will have the 2 kilowatt hour storage capacity. If you want to use the system on-grid and off-grid mode, we need to connect an STS to the system. This STS device has its own protections inside the load and the circuit breakers, the load breakers, and regarding, to mention something, there is two types of STS. One is the 100D and one is the 250D, which is for the 100D, the maximum possible connection for the inverter is two pieces, and for the 250 is 5 pieces, and it has a transformer inside for the isolation transformer inside to solve the protection of the off-grid system during the switchover, and it has a standard separate breaker for the grid, for the loads, for the diesel generator input, and also for the 2 hybrid inverter. Regarding the communication, it also have the RS485 4G and Ethernet, and the system is also for outdoor, so it's dust-proof and waterproof. There is a drawing of the 100D in system, so we can see there is a separate connection for the diesel generator. For the 2 PCS, it can go up to 5 PCS for the 250, and it has a separate connection for the PV inverter. For the 200, so for the connections, it has the separate connection for diesel generator, the PV inverter, the grid, the load, and the number of PCS in case we use the 100D or the 200D50. The system has 2 operating modes in case of STS. For the on-grid mode, the purpose is to help to stabilize the grid for the supplier by starting the diesel generator and charge or discharge the batteries, and so to take a part in the controlling of the on the stabilization of the grid. And the other operating mode is that the off-grid operation mode, when the STS is responsible for the switchover in between 20 milliseconds to establish this ongoing power supply. And this is the main reason for the STS that is needed to be installed to protect the system, which is need to be worked during the off-grid. I think we can have a break now during the agenda, because I had a agenda regarding this. I don't know what other guys think.
How long do you have presentation? You think 1 hour yet, or?
It's 30% right now.
30%.
Yes.
Because we have time maximum till 11.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's okay. So you suggest to continue?
Yes, I suggest to continue. And
okay.
If you don't have a problem with, because you are doing all the job, you're a speaker. We are just listener.
Thank you. Okay, so let's jump to the installation of the system. I have some design.
Maybe the installation of the system you can go a little bit quicker, because the main part is for the sales department. So
okay, so it's just 2 things. If you want to do it parallel, only 5 meter is possible between the 2 cabinets, and if you want to put a meter for the measurements and zero export control, and also the full mode of the operating mode, full portfolio of the operating modes, we need to use this meter, and it must be below 100 meter from the cabinets, and also the meter needs to be connected, or the connection points, the current transformer need to be connected to the connection point to the grid. There are necessary place for the operation and maintenance. Regarding this, the fork width during the transportation need to be checked always, because there is an extra metal part which can be dangerous if you don't listen where the fork you put in. Okay, for the heat calculations inside the building, we have a lot of calculations for the heat dissipation, which you can consider. There are the drawings for the foundation. It needs to be made from concrete, and the cross-section and also the foundation cross-section, the size are drawn and can be downloaded. Okay, so the schematics clearly shows where to connect which communication port or which DC connection connection cable, and here we can see that the BMS and the PCS has that CAN communication protocol, and the EMS and the PCS have the RS485 protocol. Here is one photo of an installation, which is a crucial point. That means that there is a hardly visible signs need Buddhists to check where to connect. This is one of the installation problems. Sometimes it's connected to different pins. So if we want to use one system with one inverter, the 1 and the 2 is the possible way, but it has the drawing regarding all of the possible scenarios. It is 2 cabinets, high voltage box connected to each other with the prefabricated battery cables, the CAN communication, and the air conditioner also in parallel. This is how we connect the system to the EMS01D by RS485 and the meter also. The meter is for RS485 and for the EMS01Ds need to be connected via Ethernet. Okay, the BMS and EMS communication is also connected by Ethernet to the STS and between the STS and the battery, and also the auxiliary power for the air conditioner. Okay, regarding the inverter and the STS, the DC bus cable need to be connected, the AC power cables, and the parallel communication cables. Regarding the connection with the grid and the STS, it has a smart meter, RS485 communication cable that need to be connected. The CTs need to be connected, and the load side needs to be connected. This is the customer scope, and the smart meter, the CTs, and the PV inverter also needs to be set by the customer. There are some designing tips for the wiring. So the grid AC output needs to be at least 25 square millimeter, the cross section. The grounding needs to be 16 square millimeter. The battery needs to be 16 square millimeter 4 times, and the PV input is 6 square millimeter. The auxiliary power supply is 2.5 square millimeters 3 times, and the communication line is a UTP cable category 6. There are some photos of an installation, and we recommend to make some AC switchboard behind it. And regarding the measurement points, there is an easy way to attach third-party current transformer to any bus bar section. with that air seed Rogowski coils. We have a demo cloud for the demo site. And if you copy this login and the demo and here is the password, I can show the demo site here. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Of the demo site?
Yes.
Okay. So on the first screen, we can see some topology of the system, the active power of different sections, then the PV, the production, and the state of the MPPTs. Also, we can see the SOC values, the current, the voltage, and the branch ID. If we go to the run strategy, we can set the different parameters here. It has a lot of things to adjust. If we scroll down, we can choose the operating mode. It has the manual control, mainly for troubleshooting or testing, or the third-party communication, reading and writing process. It has a spontaneous self-use, and this is sometimes the most common if we use PV for the system. It has the time sharing control, the peak and the valley filling, and the battery backup. So for every operating modes, there are different things to set, and the best is to set every little details how we want to control the system. We can go to the device monitoring to check the equipment installed. There is one PCS inside, so we can see the daily withdraw, the generation, the feed, and also making curves. If I go back in history, I don't know if it's operated before, but let's check. 2024, April. But what I want to show here is that there is lots of curve that could be checked and drawn by the system. If we go to the right, we have the report forms, and for the report forms also we can set the power, set the curves, and check for what happened on the system. So everything is zero now, but we can see that every curve can be separated or can be visible or not. We can export the data to Excel also. And if we go to power station management, we can set the basic information here and the map for the system. So regarding this topic, I don't know if I need to, do you want me to go more deep inside to this section or continue with the presentation?
You cannot.
Okay.
you don't need to present every details of this. So
okay, thank you. That was the question, because it takes a lot of time to go
yes, there will be a lot
deeply
of time if we
everything.
go to all the details.
And if you have any specific question, please feel free to interrupt. Okay, so I continue with the new products of our production, which is firstly the biggest cabinets is 233 kilowatt hour storage capacity, and it has a bigger brother hybrid inverter on the right side, which is 120 kilowatt rated power. And we can see that is another solution with a 100 rated power solution, which has two same KSC, one on the right and one on the left side. And in that case, the 100 rated power can be achieved. And for this solution, the 197 kilowatt hour storage capacity is the possible installation. But we can see in that table the possible configuration for the different capacities. The cells are also different because the new ones are made from 280 ampere hour cells, and they have different packs inside, different numbers of pack inside. So we can see the KSC 29.9 dp, the KSC 30 dp, the KSC 40 dp, and the KSC 50 dp. And the bigger ones are the KSC 100 DH and the KSC 125 DH. So regarding the configurations, if we choose one system, we need to build that cabinet's storage capacity to the same for each cabinet. So it cannot, it needs to be everything the same. So you cannot put together the 215 with the 233. If you want to reach a bigger storage capacity, you have to use only the 233.
Is this product already available on Slovenian market? Because we don't have information about this yet.
Okay, so only the 50 KSC, the old one.
Yes, this
right?
is that
Yes,
we already buy some pieces. So when will be availability of other products on the Slovenian market? Some information.
The availability of the products, here the Elena is the proper person because she's in the headquarters already, and there is a production prepared for the first quarter of 2025. So please ask Elena about particular products.
We will speak about this with Elena.
Yeah. Yes. Now
Okay.
we, for example, have some data. As we have the webinar, for example, we are some data is reaching us about the STSs and the production line forecast for the 250 STS. So everything is like planned one by one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go around with this PPT, there is the possible configuration in each slide for the corresponding inverter. We can see the standard one is the BC100DE, is the standard 100 kilowatt hour storage capacity. So it has the two separate 50 kilowatt hour cluster, as I mentioned. This is the new one. There is a EMS01D, which is used for 20 pieces of the standard KSC 50. It can be only connected 10 pieces regarding the 125D age. So regarding the STS100D is 2 hybrid inverter, or the STS250 is 5 KSC50 or 2 KSC100D age. And so I finished the commercial part of it. So I jumped to the residential one. So just highlighting some points of the system. So this is our key product for the residential solution. It has a hybrid inverter on the top. Under it has a distribution box and the battery packs. The battery packs can be attached together, maximum 3 in one column, or 2 with an inverter and with a distribution box in one column. It has a full online backup system also, 14.5 amps asymmetric load is possible to reach. And the monitoring is going through the SolarMan, and it has also the necessary or modern operating modes like self-consumption, load shift, reshaving, and the backup. It has modular design, and it has need less space to install. Only 0.15 square meter is the sufficient space for the installation. 10,000 battery cycles can be achieved by this under warranty, and it has the lithium iron phosphate batteries inside. The DC per AC ratio can go up to 200%, and this is the new design of the system. And regarding the topology that can be achieved for the one phase, it can go by the 3.6 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt, 6 kilowatt rated power of inverter. And regarding the the storage capacity, it can go up to 20 kilowatt hour. For the 3-phase, it can go up to 40 kilowatt hour storage capacity, 8 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt, and 12 kilowatt rated power of hybrid inverter. The system supporting the on-grid and off-grid switching, and it can be coupled by DC or AC or hybrid system. I will talk about it later. It has an optional...
Can I interrupt maybe?
Yes.
So I have a question regarding the expanding of the battery capacity. So a system that we are using has a 10 kilowatt hours battery pack, and I think the maximum filling and emptying, discharging is 0.5 C, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
5 kilowatt. But if we install, let's say, 20 kilowatt hours or maybe 40 kilowatt hours, it's the same, the 0.5 C, or is the inverter limited to 5 kilowatts?
It depends on the inverter. How much inverter are you using? Because the maximum power that can go out from one inverter is the nominal power of the inverter. So,
okay, so let's say we have
if
two
you are
battery
using,
packs of...
if you are using the 40 kilowatt hour storage capacity, to achieve the 0.5, you need at least two pieces of 10 kilowatt inverter.
Yeah. No. The question was if we like have 20 kilowatt hours of batteries, we can achieve the nominal power of the inverter. So let's say 10 kilowatts of power from the batteries,
Yes,
right?
yeah, correct.
Okay, so 10 kilowatt hours, it's maximum 5 kilowatts of power,
Yes,
and 20 kilowatt hours. Okay. I think that's another important stuff for us, for the sales guys, to know what
yes,
are the
because of the
yeah.
yes, because of the lithium iron phosphate cell characteristic, I will show. It's limiting it. Yes.
Yeah, and we also saw that our 10 kilowatt hour battery had a maximum power of 1 kilowatts in this cold weather. So that's, I think you will show it as well, right? The characteristic of the lithium battery, right?
Yes.
If you, okay, thank you.
On the next page, we can see that parallel connection. This is the maximum possible connection for the system. Here is a photo of one installation in Poland. It's a 40 kilowatt per 80 kilowatt, 40 kilowatt per 40 kilowatt hour storage. 100 ampere cells for the residential solution ESS that has been made from, and from these cells, the modules are built up. So these modules are complete, and also the cells with the global standards. The battery pack has its own thermal management system inside, and it has a positive and negative double fuse design for extra safety. And if we put a top to the battery packs, we put an inverter to the top, we get the system, which has the ordinary battery connection protection, the system leakage protection, the isolating monitoring, and the overload and short circuit protection. Regarding the connection, this is the right side of the distribution box under the inverter. So it has a separate meter connection terminal, the communication for the log gear stick, the backup load connection, and the AC grid connection. And it has a special CT connector if we want to use the CT in between 20 meter, between the at least 20 meter, sorry, maximum 20 meter between the inverter and the connection point of the grid. And we can also use the CT connector to connect directly the CTs if we don't want the power factor value to be shown or to the grid analysis of the system. So we can decide we want to use a standard meter if we want to check the cost fee, or we can use the cables with the CT that we are giving to the inverter as an extra accessory if you are in between 20 meters from the connection point. It has the communication interface with the batteries, and on the bottom of this inverter, on the top of the distribution box, there is the parallel connection and the DRM per parallel connection. And the DRM is responsible for limiting the output of the system, the inverter, by dry contacts. It has a distribution box. This is the picture of the distribution box. It has the 3 switches: the battery switch, the PV switch, and the backup load switch. And on the left side, there are the battery connections. If we check one module, it has a communication CAN interface on the top, which is responsible for the communication between the battery and the inverter. It has a switch level on the left side of the battery pack. This is responsible for disconnecting the packs from each other. The battery module connections are there, and the RS485 communication interface between the modules. We are prefabricating the cables depending on the chosen topology of the system. It's some picture that regarding the special CT connector, which looks like this. And if you are in between 20 meters, and you don't need a cosinus phi, it's recommended to use this. But we are suggesting different metering device for different equipments. Regarding the commercial part, we suggest that JDS 60 to 80, this metering device does not contains any current transformers, so the customer needs to buy it. And for the residential part, we have another solution with the 40 milliampere CT with that SMD 630 MCT metering device, or the SMD 630 version 2, which in that case we are not giving the CTs also. About the controlling of the system, there is 3 LEDs on the top. The first is showing that it is synchronized with the grid. The second is showing that is it in off-grid mode or not. And the red is, or the third is red, and it shows the failure of the inverter. So there are 4 buttons on the bottom of the LCD screen. First is the previous, then there is the increase, decrease volume value, and the confirm button. There is a display of the batteries packs. So there are 5 LEDs, but the first 4 shows that how much is the SOC level of the system, of one pack, not the system. So each of them is showing 25% of the SOC. There is a failure discharging indicator, it's the 5th, and there is another indicator which shows if the equipment is running. And there is one button on each pack which is responsible for the on and off switching. Regarding the monitoring, there are 2 different SolarMan accounts that could be created, one for the end user and one for the distributor, service, and the original equipment manufacturers. So the 2 different monitoring account has different permissions. So the installers can check everything, changing the parameters, updating the firmwares. Regarding the end user account, only can see the installation access and viewing the parameters. Let's check for a DC coupled system. It means that we can attach PV to our system by DC, and we can discharge it and gain the energy to the AC. And it has also the separate backup load, and the monitoring going through can go through the LAN or by Wi-Fi in case of logger stick. And the meter needs to be connected to the nearest connection point of the grid. And there is an arrow inside that is the arrow needs to show to the grid. If we are speaking about AC coupled system, that means there is another inverter or production device on the same household. And in that case, we need to tell our inverter that there is a AC coupled system that has been installed. So let's work together with the third-party inverter. The brand doesn't matter. It's also can feed out or supply the household. The hybrid system, where we are also attaching PV and also existing PV on the system. Here we can see some a picture on the left is the unbalanced output, where the cooler machine needs the 9 amps, but for that 9 amps, during the blackout or there is no AC grid, the inverter can produce its one phase asymmetric output to the consumption that needs to one phase. And instead of when the inverter operating in on-grid mode to supply this 9 amps, the 3 amps for 2 phases are fed out, and the 6 amps was pulled from the grid on the third phase. This is one photo of the LCD screen that shows that on the second phase, there is an asymmetric output, which is 13.17 amps. Okay, regarding the working modes, is the self-consumption, where the extra PV goes to the battery packs, or if the battery packs are full, we can feed out. The battery priority, when the storage only can discharge when there is no AC, the time of use settings, and the peak shaving for shaving the peaks of the energy and filling the volley of the energy demand. The working logic of the self-consumption is there is an energy production order. So when the PV products the energy, it goes to the battery, then to the grid. And the using of this PV energy, so it goes to the load first, then the battery, then to the grid. So if there is a cheap energy price in different periods of the day, we can enable the charge from the grid function to save. We can see the self-consumption procedure here, the scenarios. So if our battery is not full, we have the PV and we have the production that is not more than our PV production. Then the extra PV goes to charge the battery. When we have a bigger consumption than our PV and our battery is nearly empty, we can pull the existing from the grid to to feed the household. And if we have not that much PV, but our batteries are full and our consumption needs it, it can work together by the PV and from discharging from the battery. And during the night, there is no irradiance or or our battery already discharged, we can use the grid as normal. Regarding the battery priority, the PV and the grid are together charging the battery. It's depending on our consumption, because if we have this much, like 5,000 watts, and we have this 3,000 watt PV, and we are also pulling from the grid 4,500. The PV and the grid together charging the batteries. And if there is a AC output on the system, the battery starts to discharge itself to feed the loads. There is a time of use solution where we can charging in the time periods that we are giving, or discharge the system in time periods that we are set in advance. So I try to hurry with the presentation. Let's see. It's not the time, so we can discuss any questions if there is something, or I can show some presentation regarding some troubleshooting cases for the residential market.
Yes, I have one question also for this residential market and also industry market. The customer asks us, is possible to combine different type of the operation, for example, peak shaving and backup and self-consumption? How is this possible, or?
So for the operating modes, only one can be chosen, but for the CNI category, there is an extra time delay for the peak shaving.
Okay,
so the time
if you
of
use
use.
peak shaving, you only can use the operating mode for peak shaving.
Sorry, not peak shaving. I was wrong. It was self-consumption with the time of use. As far I know, it is the one that can be combined, but need to double check with Mariusz.
Okay. And it is the same for residential, or?
For residential also can be delayed, yes.
So if you want to have the backup, we cannot use the battery for the peak shaving or for the self-consumption.
Yes. It's need to be set in advance that you are want to use in backup mode or in what operating mode you want to use the system.
Okay.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
So from a commercial point of view, 10-year warranty, setting time schedules, what else would be important to highlight?
So regarding the warranties, the 10 year is the maximum lifetime of the battery that is under warranty.
Yeah, the question is about the advantages, David. Yeah, so definitely the safety, which you show us in the details, I think is advantage from the
Yes.
commercial point of view. And also there is I think the all-in-one solution and also the cells which are having like two partitions and the fact that you can choose 20, maybe 5, maybe 17, maybe 12 KAC machines in the row instead of one container solution. And this is very safe because if one machine is not working, if I'm talking of course now about the C&I solution, if one machine is not working, we will have still another working according to the protection system and the connection, how it's connected. And also, if we talk about, do you have the picture of the 4 all-in-one solution in the row, David?
I'm searching for it.
Okay, so the same situation we can also use at home. For example, for the PV plant, even if we talk about installment up to 40 kilowatts, which is like a like a small company or home or family business or something, between 10 to 50 kilowatts. So in this way, we can use like for example, all-in-one solutions residential, and still the same situation. If it's not functioning something or there is a too strong power from the grid, the other will be working. This is exact situation from yesterday, how the Polish clients of our one of our distributors, sales director, this is how they decided to invest. And actually, this example was given by this person who sold it during the webinar for Poland yesterday. They were clearly pointing that this 4 KACs in the row were crucial, that this is better for them, that they feel safe, more safe having this 50 kilowatts PV plant to have this kind of energy storage solution. I can also search for this picture in the meantime.
What is about the indoor implementation for residential? Is there some problem, or must be there some special protection from the fire in this room? Or
If you consider
Yes,
the heat dissipation calculation, it needs to be in a ventilate. Also, if you are considering the calculation, it is also need to be in a ventilated place, and that's it. So it's need ventilation on in the. It cannot be in a closed room. So some ventilation needed if you are putting inside the house. And regarding the extras, fire alarm can be used by shutting down the system, which is an extra communication cable from the battery. It's like a shunt shutting it down in case of fire.
okay, so the ventilation is required.
Yes.
but like as normal ventilation, it has not be a mechanical.
So natural ventilation also okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Not
yes.
like additional recuperation or whatever heavy system.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I was having this yesterday. Just a moment. The picture I want to show you for this for. If I want to show something, it's like hidden suddenly. And I used it yesterday. Just a second, I will ask for help. Just a moment.
Sorry, just confirmed that there is no possibility to adjust it, to put together these operation modes yet. So you need to adjust it in advance. But how you gonna use the system?
I will have it in the moment, the picture, so I will show you. The other advantages of this for the cells, also if the Hungarian or Czech or Polish sales director ask, they highlight our warehouse in Rotterdam, that this is already also fast approach to the goods, especially the one which are first to be sold, which is KC 5100, and the residential solutions 6 to 12 kilowatts. And yeah, this is what we used to say. And also the technical support, as I mentioned before, is the advantage if we talk about, and the hotline which you can use, it's also advantage. And our technicians, as David and everybody, is not just on the phone. They also go all over the region to support the bigger installment. Like, for example, this week Mariusz was in Macedonia. Before there was something in Hungary, Czech Republic already. Today, even we will have one more in Poland, like two more, sorry, important on supported installations going. Yeah, so we go in person or we go online with the camera. Because this way they also are able to do, let's say, more in the same time. Yeah.
Yes, regarding this one pack in Slovenia, there was an over temperature. So I will visit the site in January with you. I will contact and we will discuss. We are working on the solution right now.
Okay, I have the picture, so I will show you what I was talking about. I hope this is this one. Yes, do you see the full screen with the four cases in the row?
Yeah.
So the same, this is installation working for one of our clients. There is even like a big touchpad, big touchpads showing the production, because this is in the warehouse installed. And they support this way the 50 PV solar panels on the roof are connected to it, and it's working smoothly. They have, also like a daily easy access to the data with this manual and the software, which is already in Polish. So they are very happy about how it's this operating. According to the grid instability, there was a situation that one time just one machine stopped for a moment because of the high voltage sent from the grid. Yeah. unexpected action. Yeah. So if we have of course one inverter instead of it, still and the energy storage system, still we will face the situation that of course one only we have, so one only will hang for a moment. Yeah. Something which also the sales forces highlight in Poland, they say that the clients are very focused on the air cooling system, which is not a liquid acid cooling. Already in Poland, many people pay attention to it, like seriously, that this is not a acid but air, and also it's stable. If we talk about how is the temperature inside, so this is not just marketing saying that this is a 21 degrees or so. This is already the temperature, which is also monitored by the software to be kept all the time for the machine prevention. And also this all-in-one solution loading, that you can have a just forklift and put it, easily on the installation place. And also we have some installations where this KC50's C&I solutions are even standing on the wooden pallets, because this is like a mobile installation, which is taken all over some PV plants to be tested, to be used in the field for the random actions, let's say. And this is just the forklift, and these machines are on the track, and they can be in other location, like very easy. And the next projects we are approaching here in our region is also army projects. According to the situation, army is already, they designed their own, like a covering containers on the heavy loaded army trucks, and the cases will be inside as a mobile energy storage, because they don't want to stick anything to the containers in case of damage, in case of war zone actions and so on. They want this to be heavy toy. Of course, it's heavy, 1.4 tonna, but it's still a toy which could be reassembled from just taken out as a Lego from the container, which is just a covering this from outside world. Yeah. So this is what I can briefly say.
Okay, just one question. You said before that if you want to have 1 mega kilowatt hour battery, it's better to put together 10 these small pieces than buy one container.
Yeah. Let me just open the. If you have 2 more minutes, I will show you a video. Just a moment. I will open the source and.
Just one word. So I went after the request that need to be combined regarding the operating modes. So if you have any request, how are you gonna combine these operating modes? We can get touch with the R&D team and make the solution. But
No,
we need
it
the
was just
clear.
a question. It is possible to make these different modes together, or
Not yet.
not?
Not yet.
Okay.
I hope you will have the sound. I hope. Let me try. Yeah. So I hope it was helpful, the video.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I will send. I can put it here to the.
Okay, please send it also this video.
Yeah, to the our group here. So you can copy this. This is on the LinkedIn, so easy to get it. Yeah. So this is an example of 14 pieces in the row in the Macedonia. As you know, Macedonia is a country which is total number of citizens like 1.5 Krakow. So there are like 1.5 million people altogether. But the energy storage solutions are there like growing like crazy. I think they want to be like deeply independent in the middle of Europe and also produce and resell the energy for the region around. Yeah, because now they are on HUPEX and they, I think, want to be like stronger and independent. We have also example from Poland. There is maybe this case study you can open, David. I'm talking about the Radava Hotel and Spa. There is an installation of 3 KCs in the row supporting the spa and the hotel, which is like a hotel in the middle of the forest almost. Let's say they have a spa and a swimming pool, and of course this is Poland. This is south, but east Poland, so much colder than in Slovenia. And already they installed these 3 KCs, and also they have carports and the installation, PV installation, and they have idea, okay, 10 years of return of the investment, okay. But now already after 1 year, it's like downgraded. So they recalculated according to how much they saved energy due to these 3 KCs storing their energy, which they produce. This is already 3 years to have their investment like cleared completely, and already 1 is passed. Can you show the picture, David?
Yes,
Must be there some special heating system because the temperature is cooler.
No. The same KSC standing there.
The same batteries.
Exactly, because the batteries, they work from minus to plus 55. This plus 55, the system is completely safe.
Okay.
I have also some reference picture of the
I think I found that. If you can see now, if you
yes,
think
I see. Okay,
So
I
this is
asked this because we also prepare some project for 2 MWh batteries, but we spoke with Elena about the container system.
Okay. So this is Elena definitely is the person who will advise you the best according to the contact with you and the knowledge of the market and your needs. So definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that we heard a lot of things. Our time expired now.
Yeah,
So
of course. Thank you for your patience and for your time.
Thank you for today. I think that we will be also with David in January David, you said that in January you will be here. So we
Yes,
can
looking forward to
discuss
meet. Yes,
about something also then. Okay, thank you.
sure.
Thank you very much. Wish you a beautiful Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you for having us today.
Okay, the same to you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.